What up guys, SuperMetal983 here bringing you a little album review. Now, I've changed it up because I'm not going to be doing digital reviews, even though it's technically a digital review, but I thought that title run kind of just didn't really work out, so we're changing it to album reviews to follow the generic YouTube community, whatever you want to go by. But yeah, this is kind of an announcement video as well, in the sense that I'm going to be receiving promos and advanced copies of releases from Unique Leader Records. Now, Unique Leader Records, as you know, are one of, if not my favourite extreme metal, you should say, label. More than Nuclear Blast, more than Century Media, all the big name labels you can think of. Unique Leader, in my opinion, is king. But yeah, I'm going to be receiving copies. I've got the advanced copy of Croesus, their debut album, which I cannot wait to review because that is a sick album. But we're here to do the first lot of the 2018 releases from Unique Leader, and I'm stoked to bring this review. But we're going to be reviewing the new Alterbeast album called Feast, and as I said, released under Unique Leader Records. Now, Alterbeast, if you didn't know, are a technical death metal band from America, and they play a very thrashy, kind of melodic, sort of technical style of death metal, kind of in vein of what you would hear on the likes of Decrepit, maybe, for example. A lot of Black Dahlia murder influence, Allegaeon, Necrophagus. So if you're into any of those bands, I definitely think Alterbeast is a band for you. Now, Alterbeast's last album, which I believe is called Immortal, which I have right here, which is this one, I have on CD. This was released in 2014, made my top albums of that year, and this was my first exposure to the band, obviously being their debut release, and I was floored by it. The riff heaviness, the aggressiveness, the viciousness, but it still had a lot of melodicness. It felt like a lot like a kind of a more technical version of the Black Dahlia Murder, but still riff heavy. And that's what I really like to hear when it comes to tech. I love me tech when it's fast and technical as hell, but I like to have some riffs in there just to smite you off your knees and just go, wow, that's fucking amazing. And this was definitely one of those. And since then, I have been waiting eagerly for a new release. So it's obviously been about nearly 4 years since the release of Immortal, so I've been craving a new album, and now we have the album Feast. Now, Feast, in my opinion, is absolutely fucking amazing. It is a great follow-up to Immortal. It's a lot of what I wanted to follow up from Immortal. It still has that riff heaviness that I wanted and more. It's still got a lot of technicality to it that you would find on the likes of a Decrepit record or a Necrophagus record. So if you like that sort of technicality where it's not overly barren and not, as the term goes, wankery, you know, where you're wanking on your fretboard and stuff, it's not that in any way sense of it. It's just very catchy melodicness, if you ask me, but it's still very technical to listen to. But one thing that I keep on seeing, I'll probably see it in the entirety of this review, is that I love the riffness of it, because it really puts you in mind of like a more modern, the more modern take on the Black Dahlia Murder sound, with the likes of Everblack, Abysmal, and obviously Nightbringers. Now, if you love Nightbringers like I do, last year made me top albums, you will love Feast by Alterbeast. It's got that real aggressive vibe to it, and I can definitely detect a lot of influence, especially in the vocals department. The vocal department is very aggressive, high vocals. It puts us more in mind when I think of the Black Dahlia Murder's vocal performance over the time. If I was to compare it to them, which I am going to anyway, I would compare it kind of like to, what's the album? Miasma. I would compare it to that sort of aggressiveness where it's not really high pitched, but it's still aggressive and bone crushing and very gargly sense. But the vocals, the low vocals, are monstrous as hell, and the high vocals are just so powerful, and it literally sounds so fucking vicious. It's literally one of the most vicious vocals so far I've heard in 2018, especially through a good set of speakers, or earphones, you can hear it, and it literally grinds on you, and it just makes you feel all pumped up and ready for some tech death. And in all honesty, tech death hasn't really been my friend, should we just say, over the past couple of months and stuff. I've not really been into that sort of style, but I have to say that the technicality on this album is amazing. It just creates that perfect balance that I like to hear, that it's still heavy, but it's not wankery that you just get bored. Like, I can be impressed with a lot of technical stuff, but I still want it to be catchy, and Alterbeast definitely has that, and I think they are one strong and underrated band on Unique Leader, if you ask me. They should be up there with the likes of Deeds of Flesh and all that, as when it comes to the technicality side of things. It's absolutely fantastic. This album, I might as well also add, is due to be released on February 23rd, so you make sure you get your orders in for it. I need to pre-order my own copy, because this is absolutely amazing, if you ask me. There is so many good songs on this album, and I keep on looking this way because I've got the track list and all that there. Couple of songs that I think are amazing. Personally, the opening track is fantastic. Welcome to Your Doom. It literally is that. That title is the perfect welcoming. It's like, welcome to your doom, and then you just get eviscerated by tech death. Probably my favourite song, in all honesty, on this album has to be Vile Skin Possession. Vile Skin Possession, which is the 5th track on it, is incredible. Absolutely incredible. It's just got that wallop, that pounding, heavy, in-your-face obnoxiousness that you need. It's just literally the most unbridled track on this album, in my opinion. I absolutely love it. There's also Coffin Crescendo, the 7th? Yeah, the 7th track. Incredible stuff. And also the last track as well, Upon the Face of the Deep. That is a great closing track. Riff heavy, fantastic sound and stuff. The production itself is very clean, but it's still punchy and full, literally full of meat. It literally is heavy as fucking balls, and there's not a lot, in my opinion, that tech death can take when it comes to bringing the heaviness. When heaviness, like technicality, you obviously need the melodicness to obviously get the clarity there, but it loses a lot of the heaviness, and Alterbeast definitely have that. And this album, I definitely think is going to go a bit under the radar in 2017, and I'm hoping I'm doing my part, and you people will do your part by checking out this album, because this album is incredible. Artwork, I might as well also say the artwork, it's a little different than I was expecting, but I kind of like it. I think it's a little bit different. It's not as like bright. It's a very bright album cover, but it's not like you know, spacey or anything like that. It's just quite simple, and I quite like it. It really adds to an unexpectedness that you would have when listen. You wouldn't think that this is the type of album that it is, but I think you feast upon this album, you need to hear it, you need to feast upon it and bestow your ears upon it, because this album definitely is a great start to the year for me. It was one of the first albums that I checked out in 2018, and you need to hear it if you're into tech death. If you're a fan, as I said before, Black Dahlia Murder, Decrepit Birth, Necrophagus, or At the Gates, you will find something to like about this band. This band is on the rise, and you definitely... What the hell's going on with my camera focus? Hello. Right. But yeah, make sure you check out Alterbeast's Feast, released under Unique Leader Records, due to drop on February 23rd. So make sure you check it out when it comes out, and stick around for more album reviews. I've got obviously the new Crosses to review very soon, but then upon the future we're going to have releases from Obliterate, great deathcore band. I've got one of their EPs on CD, and also I cannot wait to review the new Ingested album. Oh my god, that is going to be eviscerating and all that. But yeah, make sure you check out Alterbeast with Feast. This album, for a score though, I'm going to give this a solid 8 out of 10. This is absolutely incredible and something you need to hear, and definitely going to be an underrated album in 2018 if you ask me. So yeah, I'll see you until the next video. Make sure you check out Unique Leader Records, and remember, stay metal, and I'll see you later.